Welcome back to Dockside Shop and Forge. So today we're going to try and get the Hearth Crane finished. So some of the jobs we need to do today is cut these to length, but more importantly correct this so it crosses somewhere about here. So we need to adjust this curve. So what we'll do is we'll clamp this one down and then we'll segmentally heat this and tweak it. So the first thing we're going to do is take out this little bit of recurve that's occurred here. Once we've got that sorted, we'll cut a piece of metal for the collar that's going to go here. Probably about here actually. Now it is leaving a little bit longer overhang, however, fairly certain that that's going to be okay. We also need to correct this. It's a little bit undercurved, so it's got to be bent out a little bit more this way. Once we've got that done, now we've got the holes drilled in this piece, which are going to go like that. Then we'll decide on the pivot point and that'll govern this. But I suspect it'll end up running pretty much where this is, so it will be something very much like that. This rivet is a little bit smooshed out, so I'm going to have to tape around it and file it a little bit to get it back towards diameter. It's a little bit over 13 millimeters and I want it under 12. So let's get things started. We'll start working on this one till it fits this, because we're going to clamp the long part down so that becomes our reference. This surface here becomes our reference frame. Now once we've got this one where we want it, then we'll tweak this, because that's just a matter of moving that way, and then it'll go this way just a little bit to compensate. Let's get the forge lit, tweak this one into place, and we'll see how far we get. I'm hoping that we'll get all the way to making the temporary brackets so we can clamp it to a vertical surface of some description and see how it looks. Alright, let's get cracking. So, I know I said I was going to start with the other one, but okay, so that's the backbone straightened out and parallel. It's going to end up being a little bit taller than I expected, but I kind of figured that it would end up that way. So now we've got the bottom rail, and we can see we've got a bit of a kick out here to straighten out. We'll see how much that brings the tip down, probably about there I reckon. And then we'll have to tweak it along the way. So I'm aiming for one tweak somewhere here, one somewhere here. We've more or less taken the twist out already, which we did when we were doing the original forming, which is good, and always good to keep things in straight. So let's heat up this area and take this little bit out, and hope we don't progress the cold shut we've got in here. Alright, it's mostly taken that out. Let's cool that off and see where we're at. Still a little bit warm to touch at the far end. Because small change down here has resulted in quite a big change up here. So So we need to straighten somewhere in this area. Not by much. It might be just here. I'm just checking to make sure it's straight at this point before I start bending here and wherever it needs to be. So let's cool it off a bit and check it on the drawing. So we now have that crossing around about here. So if we start to from about here to here, bring that, kink that over sharply so that it makes contact about here, and that leaves us enough to curl up here. So let's get that end up. So gets me started, and then I have to do the other end at the anvil. Okay, let's straighten that out, and we'll have to straighten that a little bit. We've over twisted. Alright, so what we're going to do is twist up this tip just a little bit more. So that we can get a little more evenness. That looks pretty good. It's not perfect, I grant you that, but let's straighten that out because we've twisted it out. Let's see. Well, our marks are exactly where we want them for the collar. The scroll looks pretty much where it is. We're displaced 25 mils, maybe 30, 25 mils. And we are up 30. So on the whole, pretty close to where we want it to be. Way off course. Oof. That's an 8mm drill. Keep that as far in as we can because we want it to have as little flex as possible. See what we can do about it. I don't think we're going to do anything. Taken the path of least resistance, but it's squared up a bit. That's good. Good with that. That gets us, that one, close enough that we can now heat it in the forge to the other end. Well, we've reached the end of the Hearth Crane project. As you can see behind me, I've mounted it up temporarily on the wall just so I can demonstrate how it works. Yes, it was a way bigger project than I thought. It's taken at least one episode longer, and I've had to make far more tools than I thought I'd ever have to make for a single project. Some of those tools will need remaking. One of the rivet headers is obviously too short. It gets quite hot, and there's quite a few times where it's very nearly come to the point where my hand's gotten caught between the header and the work, which would have been disastrous, let's say. Let's have a look at the crane and see how it actually works. Now, unfortunately, this is mounted the wrong way, so realistically it should be pointing out through this wall, not up against it. But as you can see, it swings freely, probably a little bit too freely. The linseed oil is still a little bit tacky, but adjusts so you can get quite a bit of height. You can lower it quite a distance. As to if that's practical, considering it moves it significantly from where it was. So if the fire is here and you've moved it down, have you really moved it closer to the fire if you've shifted from here through to here? But it moves freely. Looks good. I'm really happy with it. And as a bonus, this thing is going to go up for sale. I'm setting up an Etsy. I had one previously, I'm going to have one again. So if anybody wants it, it'll be online shortly. I'll try and get a link down below for that. Well, there we have it. One large project finished. I now have a Patreon. The link is down below. So if you'd like to provide financial support to the channel, it allows for things like better lighting equipment, new cameras, which I'm trying to work towards at the moment, and better sound reduction for cutting out some of the extraneous road noise. Any donation made is just that, a donation. The content will always be free. So if you've enjoyed this series of videos, hit the thumbs up. Feel free to share on social media, and if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. When you do, ring that notification bell. Generally I upload on a fairly regular schedule, but it doesn't always happen, so the notification bell is the best bet for finding out when I'm next uploading. So get out to your shop, challenge yourself, do something that's way out there and totally different to what you normally do. But above all, stay safe, and I'll catch you for the next one.